coded language, and once you understand the principle of reversal, their writings make sense. The Masons are saying that the God of the Bible is darkness, the opposite of what we think, and Lucifer, supposedly the God of darkness, is the God of light. But Albert Pike was wrong. Lucifer is not God. The Bible teaches in Isaiah chapter 43, verses 1 and 10, "Thus saith the Lord, understand that I am He. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me." The Bible continues, "I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me." So Pike claimed that Lucifer was a god, but he was not correct. Lucifer cannot be God, he was not God, and he will not be God. So quite simply, Pike was wrong. Lucifer is not God. The Masons inside their lodge seek light. The Masons acknowledge that Lucifer is the light bearer. Others confirm this as well. Once again, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the author of the book entitled Secret Doctrine and a Luciferian, confirmed it as well. On page 513 she wrote, "Satan and Lucifer, or light bearer." Lewis Spence, in his book entitled Encyclopedia of Occultism, wrote that Lucifer was the bringer of light. Everyone, of course, knew that light came from the sun, and so the sun and Lucifer became synonymous. And the Bible confirms this as well. In 2 Corinthians verse 11, chapter 14, the Bible says, "And no marvel, for Satan is transformed into an angel of light." The word transformed is defined to change in outward shape or semblance. That means that Lucifer does not change, he only appears to change. So he is not an angel of light, he only appears to be an angel of light. Manly P. Hall confirms all that I've just quoted with this quote from his book entitled The Lost Keys of Freemasonry. Mr. Hall wrote, "The ancients taught that the sun was not a source of light, life, or power, but a medium through which life and light were reflected into physical substance. The Master Mason is, in truth, a sun, a great reflector of light." Here he was saying that man is not the light, he reflects the light from a God. He continues, "He," meaning the Master Mason, "stands between the glowing firelight and the world." And he went on, "Through him passes Hydra, the great snake, and from its mouth there pours to man the light of God. His symbol, Hydra's symbol, is the rising sun." And that is what the Bible says. But there is another claimant to being the light bearer. The Bible says in John chapter 8, verse 12, "Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life." So there are two claimants to being the light bearer, Lucifer or Jesus. We have seen that the Masons claim that Lucifer is the God of the light and that the God of the Bible is the God of darkness. We must remember the words of Albert Pike on page 16 of his book entitled Legenda. "It is a war between light and darkness, and he is right." Jesus claims in the New Testament in John chapter 8 verse 20, Jesus answered him saying, "I spake openly to the world, and in secret have I said nothing." Jesus conceals nothing, Lucifer conceals everything. Albert Pike wrote, "The glory of God is to conceal the word, and wisdom is with those who keep secrets." So here we see that Jesus, the Son of God, is not the God of the Masons. Jesus conceals nothing, and the God of the Masons conceals everything. So there are two claimants, as I said, to being the light bearer: Lucifer, who has hidden his alleged deity in symbols and in secret rituals, and Jesus, who hid nothing and kept nothing secret. One is Lucifer, who even the Masons admit conceals that truth from the public, and Jesus, who spoke everything in public for all mankind. So each of us is going to have to make a choice between the two. There is no other option. This will be the first of my two brief religious pitches. I am an historian that has discovered an enormous truth that other historians have never found, or who are keeping the truth from you. Notice that I have just proven that there is a secret religion on this earth that worships Lucifer under a concealed secret worship. that this worship is to be kept from the public except those smart enough to figure it out and then act on it. And then there is Jesus, who also claims to be the light bearer. So each of us has a choice to make. We can either believe Jesus or Lucifer. And each of us will have to make that choice because the coming new world order demands it. May I humbly suggest that you do it soon, because this new world order is coming and it will be here very, very soon. I want you to know that I am not the one saying that each of us will have to make a decision about this coming new world order. I want you to know that it is those who support the changes that are saying it. Let me show you some of those quotes. This is once again Terry Cole Whitaker. She wrote this on her book, page 89 of her book. Opposition and disbelief will have a similar lack of effect on the new world, which so many on this planet now envision. Those who oppose such a vision will, in fact, simply disappear, just as those who opposed other visions and visionaries long since have returned to dust, while the visions they so vehemently attacked live on. So those who oppose the New World Order, according to Terry Cole Whitaker, will in fact simply disappear. Two other New Agers, Lavetti Lafferty and Bud Holloway, wrote this in their book entitled The Eternal Dance. This is a time of opportunity for those who will take it. Apparently they're referring here to the New Agers. So, but for others, and here he's talking about those who will not accept the New World Order, meaning those who won't accept it, if the earth is unsuitable for them, meaning if they don't forget it or don't want the New World Order, they will go on to other worlds. Another spokesman of the New Age religion was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the guru sought out by the rock and roll group known as the Beatles, was quoted as saying, "There has not been and there will not be a place for the unfit." Apparently he's referring to those who will not accept the New World Order. He said the fit will lead, and if the unfit are not coming along, meaning if they will not accept the New Age religion, there is no place for them. In the age of enlightenment, there is no place for ignorant people. Non-existence of the unfit has been the law of nature. This is what this man taught the Beatles, 30-some years ago. Ruth Montgomery, another New Ager, added her thoughts on the subject. The souls who helped to bring on this chaos of the present century, and I believe she's referring to those who do not believe in the New Age, will have passed into spirit to rethink their attitudes. And she went on, and millions will survive and millions won't. Those who won't will go into the spirit state. John Randolph Price is another New Ager, and he made an estimate of the number who will not survive the transfer. Mr. Price was told by his spirit guide, a spirit guide is someone apparently that talks to Mr. Price, that up to 2.5 billion might perish in the coming chaos. 2.5 billion is about 1/2 of the population of the world. That means that 1/2 of the people on earth today will not be here after the New World Order is imposed. So hold on, this is not very pleasant. But perhaps the most frightening statement made by any New Ager that I am not familiar with came from the pen of Barbara Marx Hubbard, a New Ager who wrote this in her book entitled Happy Birthday Earth. The choice is, do you wish to become a natural Christ, a universal human, or do you wish to die? People will either change or die. That is the choice. And to show you that this thought was not hers alone, I would like to point out that Lord Maitreya, this so-called Christ, said it in 1979, what we're about to read. I'd like to return to Benjamin Krebs's book entitled The Reappearance of the Christ and the Masters of Wisdom that I've quoted from before. He has published Lord Maitreya's teachings on September the 12th, 1979 in his entirety on page 246 of his book. I would like to quote only a part of it. This is what Lord Maitreya taught us, 1979. Man must change or die. There is no other course. When you see this, you will gladly take up my cause and show that for man exists a future bathed in light. It is true, unfortunately, you will either accept the New World Order or die. I'm sorry that I must be so blunt, but notice that I did not say this. Those who support the New World Order said it. Notice that I'm not saying this without any proof. I'm quoting the experts, those who believe in the New World Order. You cannot fault my research. I'm reading the experts. This is real because I found the writings of those who believe it. So I am not the only one saying that each of us will be given a choice. We will either accept or reject the New World Order. And those who reject it will go into the spirit state. Another New Ager once wrote a similar thought about purging the earth of those who will not accept the new future. His name was Adolf Hitler, the German New Ager, who fought World War II to give the world a new world order. He killed up to 50 million people and felt no remorse. So Adolf Hitler also was a believer, and those who would not accept the New World Order died, and over 50 million did. This is what Adolf Hitler wrote. I have the right to exterminate millions of individuals of inferior races which multiply like vermin. And the reason why these New Agers do not tremble when they write about the death of billions of people was stated by Alice Bailey, one of the New Agers. She wrote, "Death is not a disaster to be feared. The work of the destroyer is not really cruel or undesirable. Therefore, there is much destruction permitted by the custodians of the plan and much evil turned into good." Notice, I'm quoting the writers of this material themselves, those who believe in it. So there is a battle being waged between Lucifer and Jesus. And I found it as an historian. I have found it as any historian could have if he or she had only looked. And some are predicting that Lucifer will win that war. Albert Pike said this in his book entitled Morals and Dogma. Light will finally overcome darkness. Here is another author who is saying basically the same thing. The Magian philosophers tell us that Ormuzd sprang originally from the purest light and Ahriman from the most profound darkness. According to Pike's principle of reversal, Ormuzd is Lucifer and Ahriman is the God of the Bible. He went on, then the former, meaning Ormuzd, the concealed Lucifer, adorned the heaven with stars. Notice that he is capitalizing the word, so he is not talking about the stars that shine in the sky at night, but he means something else. Quite possibly he's talking about the masters that we've been talking about for all the time of this lecture. So the masters are the stars placing the sun in front of all the rest. So these gods are to contend with varied success, at the end of which time Ahriman, meaning the God of the Bible, is to be destroyed and mankind for the future to live in perfect happiness. According to Albert Pike, light, represented by the wisdom of Lucifer, will finally overcome the God of the Bible. He repeated that thought with a little more detail on page 287 of his book. You see, my brother, what is the meaning of Masonic light. You see why the east of the lodge, where the initial letter of the name of the deity overhangs the master, is the place of light. Light, as contradistinguished from darkness, is good, as contradistinguished from evil. And it is that light, the true knowledge of deity, the eternal good for which Masons in all ages have sought. Still, Masonry marches steadily toward that light that shines in the great distance. That light of the day when evil, overcome and vanquished, evil meaning the God of the Bible, shall fade away and disappear forever, and life and light will be the one law of the universe. Benjamin Krem also claims that Maitreya foresees total victory for the forces of light. And he went on to say that those who object to the New World Order can do nothing to prevent it. Benjamin Creme wrote, "Nothing can prevent the inauguration of this era of